Hello Star Wars action figure fans and collectors, JCC2224 back again with another Star Wars action figure video. And today is a video that it's kind of long overdue. It's a top 5, or some of my favorite original trilogy figures. Now I do collect both original trilogy, prequel trilogy, and a little bit of EU, a little. But because my collection is so massive, I did decide to just make one video per, each thing, like one for EU, one for OT, and one for PT. Now this is my OT because I love the original trilogy, even though I'm a newer generation fan or collector. But really, to start off, let's start off with probably the older figures first. Practically all these are TVC. The first one, not in any particular order because I really can't pick, it's probably the Stormtrooper. Now the Vintage Collection Stormtrooper, don't get me wrong, I really liked it, but it just didn't have that charm, articulation, and just overall look that the Saga Legends one had. Now I really regret not picking any more of these up, but good thing is, I already had 2 VOTC ones, so really didn't make much of a difference. But if you can get this figure at all, like if you still see him on the pegs, if I would see him on the pegs, I'd get more, trust me. It's one of those guys I actually wish peg warmed, but really, I really think you should get this figure. It's a really good one, and of course it's on my top 5. It's just a really good one. Now I'll just read off articulation for each figure. This one has a ball jointed neck, ball hinged shoulders and elbows, swivel wrists, ball hinged waist, I should say, swivel hips, ball hinged knees, and ball hinged ankles. A really good figure, a highly recommended figure, and I should stop saying figure because I'm starting to get a little illiterate. My tongue's getting tied too. But the next figure I should put out there is the Vintage Collection Boba Fett. Now all these other figures are Vintage Collection figures, most of them being main characters, but this figure, geez, I really like it. At first, I thought it wouldn't really match up to like the VOTC one, but in reality, it's probably the best Boba Fett out there right now. A few places still have it in stock, places that really don't stock well, but really this figure is certainly one that I should say, probably it'll take a while for it to be updated and probably, this one be demoted, but they are making a new Boba Fett, and I don't want to go to that because it's crap and I don't want to cry today, but this is a really good Boba Fett. Articulation is practically the same as a Stormtrooper if you want to go back to Stormtroopers, except he has swivel forearms and a swivel waist. I think he only has a swivel waist. But the only thing I really don't like about this figure that really made me hesitate to add him to my list is this. We never saw Boba Fett's head in OT. Yes. We never did it. We never did. We never should have gotten this figure with a removable helmet. Stupid. Hate it. Nah, I don't really hate it. It makes the figure look okay. I don't like Boba Fett's kind of like how he's a clone. Of course, being a Star Wars fan, I do have to accept it, but can't really say I'm a fan of it. So that's Boba Fett, and he just fell. Now the next figure is one that came from Wave 3 of the Vintage Collection, and I'm not sure which one I should do, but I think this one is a little better than the other Vintage Collection Luke Skywalker that I prefer, and it's this one. Now this Vintage Collection Luke Skywalker is a really good Luke, and I'm not sure if I ever reviewed this guy. I think I did, but I never posted it. Not sure, but the other Luke I was actually considering adding to this list was the Bespin Luke. Now don't get me wrong, both of these Lukes are really good, but I just think this one resembles Mark Hamill a little more, this one, and certainly overall is the better figure of the two. And even over the new deleted scenes of Luke, I still prefer this one. However, I've yet to obtain the deleted scenes of Luke or the new Hoth Luke. Hoth Luke probably would overgo this one if I would have the Hoth Luke right now, but I really don't have any new figures yet, except the next one. The next one is a new figure, and certainly my favorite version of the character by far, and it is the Darth Vader. Now, the camera's probably not going to pick him all up because he's a pretty tall figure, as he should be. Putting him next to the Stormtrooper I picked earlier, the height is honestly really good. Vader was obviously taller in the movies, and a lot of Vaders before this one really weren't so tall. This one is just a really good Vader. The articulation for this guy, I miss Luke's articulation, but you know, you probably already know what it is. But this Vader's articulation is actually really good. He can hold his lightsaber with his right hand, which, you know, is actually pretty good for a Darth Vader figure. His head is sadly still on a swivel. I don't really get that, but, you know, what can you do? And overall, this is just a really good Vader. Now, I know you don't want me to go on like 7 minutes talking about figures I like, so I'll just wrap it up here. Now, the last figure is probably my favorite out of the entire bunch, and it's probably the ugliest too, and that is the Gamorrean Guard. Now, most people think the Gamorrean to be just a simple, kind of iffy, you know, it's an okay figure, but not all my favorites. Now, I just really like this Gamorrean Guard. It actually looks better than what the Gamorreans did in the film. And really, when a figure actually is of that high of caliber, I think that it really deserves to be on my favorites. However, the only gripe that I have with this guy, I mean, the cloak, the little loincloth, I can live with that. I just don't like how the helmet doesn't really want to sit right. But really, this figure is a really good figure. Highly recommended. It's actually being kind of reissued with newer waves, if you can find the newer waves. Curse you again, Hasbro. But he is being re-released. I will end up probably getting a few more of this guy. It's a really good figure. Certainly the one that you probably should get. I was able to get mine loose for $6. Whoa. But yeah, I was able to get mine pretty cheap, a little before Christmas actually. And overall, highly recommended. All these figures I do recommend if you don't have them already. Ones I wouldn't expect kind of casual or beginner collectors not to have at the moment is probably Vader and the Gamorrean. But I better cut this video off at around 8 minutes and 30 seconds because I'm kind of someone who does that and I'm talking too fast. Jeez. I don't do that often. But really, it's really with this favorites video, I will have an OT and PT. I already have an OT one. I will have a PT and EU video for this. So that's really it. Have a good day, and may the Force be with you.